After examining J.R.R. Tolkien's Catholic worldview and resentment for Protestantism, it is curious how him and Lewis were able to maintain such a famous friendship. The fact is that Lewis was not quite so Protestant as promoted, and his biographers and letters reveal as much. In the book, C.S. Lewis and the Catholic Church, published by Loyola Press, it reads in the introduction, "It will be worthwhile to look briefly at two traditionally Catholic theological subjects, as treated in the pages of Lewis. These two subjects are Purgatory and the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, both of which Lewis seems to have understood remarkably well and to have believed in strongly." A very interesting quote for sure, but not without evidence. As found in Tolkien's letters, he explains to his son Christopher that hatred of our church is, after all, the real only final foundation of the Church of England, so deep laid that it remains even when all the superstructure seems removed. C.S. Lewis, for instance, reveres the Blessed Sacrament and admires nuns. Did you see how Tolkien boasted about the fact that the superstructure of the Church of England seems to be removed by using Lewis as an example? This shows how even if Lewis was partially devoted to the Anglican Church, this creates the perception that Protestantism is weak to the acknowledgement of Tolkien. Lewis in Mere Christianity says, "There are three things that spread the Christ life to us: baptism, belief, and the mysterious action which different Christians call by different names Holy Communion, the Mass, the Lord's Supper, which only confuses his audience into thinking that Protestants view the Lord's Supper as the Catholic Mass." On the issue of purgatory, Lewis, in his final book, Letters to Malcolm, wrote, "Our souls demand purgatory, don't they? Would it not break the heart if God said to us, 'It is true, my son, that your breath smells and your rags drip with mud and slime, but we are charitable here and no one will upbraid you with these things, nor draw away from you. Enter into the joy.' Should we not reply, 'With submission, sir, and if there is no objection, I'd rather be cleaned first. It may hurt, you know. Even so, sir.'" Another quote from Lewis and the Catholic Church reads, "Of course I pray for the dead," he states categorically, describing his prayers for deceased friends as spontaneous. He hardly knew how the rest of his prayers would survive if those for the dead were forbidden. In reading the preface to Mere Christianity, one cannot help but notice his capitalization of the Blessed Virgin Mary, as this title seems to indicate that Mary was a virgin her whole life. Once again, in the book published by Loyola Press, it says, "It is recorded that he spoke of the Blessed Virgin, and made his confession to his priest regularly, and believed in purgatory, and even came to refer to the Eucharist as "Heaven help us all, the Mass." On a final note, Lewis says in the preface to Mere Christianity, "The reader should be warned that I offer no help to anyone who is hesitating between two Christian denominations. You will not learn from me whether you ought to become an Anglican, a Methodist, a Presbyterian, or a Roman Catholic. And if I have not directly helped the cause of reunion, I have perhaps made it clear why we ought to be reunited.